Hi there, so happy to be with you for another informative weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Inside our pages today, Western Roundup returns. Healthwise looks at the fats in our foods, and we check out grant support available to entrepreneurs and businesses. Stick and stay for these and more as we keep you informed throughout this half-hour journey. Thanks again for being here. Today our show showcases a return of Western Roundup with team member Nikita Sterling. She's piloting us through developments at the new Santa Cruz Special Education Center and a medical mission that's serving residents in St. Anne.
Welcome back to another season of Western Roundup. Today we journey to Santa Cruz, where we bring you the highlights from the handing over of the Santa Cruz Special Education Center. Then we head to St. Anne, where scores of residents receive free health care through a 3-day medical mission. It promises to be good, so stick around. The Santa Cruz Special Education Center was recently opened in St. Elizabeth to assist with the growth, development, and well-being of special needs students in the parish. The $43 million facility, which opened its doors in April, is located at the former Santa Cruz Basic School, which was renovated through funding from the Digicel Foundation.
I'm happy to join you here today to witness the handover of this new facility.
The center boasts 3 classrooms, an assessment room, fully refurbished kitchen, and wheelchair-accessible bathrooms, amenities the staff are excited about.
The renovation here, it's really a wonderful thing that was done here for these students and staff. Now we have our own space. We can do a lot of things now that we weren't able to do.
I would highly recommend this institution for parents or guardians who have a special need child or children. I speak from personal experience because my son attends this institution, and I am well pleased and satisfied with the results and the efforts and diligence of the teachers and the members of staff here.
Students at the center will be exposed to a curriculum tailored for persons with moderate to severe intellectual disabilities and a modified grade 7 to 9 national standards curriculum covering functional literacy, functional mathematics, life skills, social studies, civics, character education, resources, and technology.
The teacher that we show that they care for the enjoyable memories that we will share. Even though it is scary in the outside world, you all must remember to be brave and strong, boys and girls. Out of everything I have to say, you all have an amazing school opening day.
Students will also be engaged in job certification skills training in agriculture science, basic food preparation, craft and decor, and business basics. Over in St. Anne, more than 1,000 residents benefited from a 3-day medical mission spearheaded by Hope Mission 360. 95 volunteer doctors, dentists, nurses, pharmacists, and support staff came together to offer a range of essential medical services, including general checkups, health screenings, dental care, eye examinations, and provision of prescription medications.
Every summer we go to different Caribbean islands to provide free services. It's been such a blessing for me, being a regular internal medicine doctor, to be able to come and to serve people in different countries, and we're so happy to be here in Jamaica to be able to serve the people of Jamaica as well.
So my 6 years have been phenomenal. Coming here to Jamaica, it's made a profound impact on me, knowing that I was one of those kids running in the streets, without shoes and just having fun, and the only reason why I'm able to do this is because I got an opportunity and I was able to come back and give to the community.
The team also engaged residents in educational sessions on preventative healthcare practices, hygiene, and healthy living to improve their overall well-being.
To whom much is given, much is required, and so we feel very strongly that we've been blessed. And God doesn't bless us to accumulate things for ourselves. He gives us things so that we can serve His children.
The temporary clinics were set up in Ocho-Rios, Golden Grove, Claremont, Monique, and Mount Edgecombe in St. Anne. Principal at Golden Grove Primary School, Jason Simpson, was happy to partner with the organization to help alleviate the financial burden for parents and residents.
Healthcare is one of those things that can be very expensive, and we welcome any sort of partnership that will ease the financial burden of our parents, of our students, members of the community. And so we are very appreciative of what the medical team is here doing, because otherwise it will have cost a lot of money.
The residents too were grateful for the assistance they received.
I just want to say a special thanks for the awesome, tremendous work in which you guys are doing. We appreciate it very much. And the thing about it that we cannot repay them of what they are doing. But God said, I will repay you, said the Lord. And I just want to inform them that their labor is not in vain.
Hope Mission 360 is a renowned non-profit organization committed to improving global healthcare access.
That's all for the program today. As usual, thank you for joining us for Western Roundup, where we take you from the corners of St. Elizabeth to the hilly terrains of St. Anne. Remember to send your feedback to jismobe@jis.gov.jm. Until next time, take care.
The foods we consume can determine the status of our health. Simply put, if you are not eating healthy, you're likely to get sick. So, let's consider the healthy path with this next feature examining the fats in our food.
The human brain is 60% fat. Fats provide a storehouse of energy for the body and promote normal cell growth and healthy skin. Fat also acts like a cushion and heat regulator to protect the heart, liver, and other vital organs. And as most people would know, fat adds flavor to our food and helps us feel full longer. It is clear that having fat in our diet is beneficial in many ways, but too much or the wrong kind can be equally harmful. Fat is a source of essential fatty acids which help the body absorb vitamins A, D, and E. There are 3 types. Monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids are both considered good fats. The third, saturated fatty acid, is what we are often encouraged to avoid or lower our intake. So too, trans fat, which is created by a process called hydrogenation that makes the fat harder at room temperature to increase the shelf life.
What is in our foods impact on the quality of our lives?
The World Health Organization recommends that trans fat intake be limited to less than 1% of total energy intake, which translates to less than 2.2 grams per day with a 2,000 calorie diet.
Studies have shown that saturated fat increases the amount of bad cholesterol or LDL in the blood and has no effect on the good cholesterol, HDL. Trans fatty acids increase the amount of bad cholesterol in the blood and also reduce the amount of good cholesterol. Diets high in these bad fats are linked to obesity, heart disease, and other cardiovascular-related problems. Trans fat also causes malformation of cell membranes and other cell structures in the body, leading to weak cell walls and abnormal cell function. They are not recognized by enzymes and can cause neural degeneration and diminished brain function. why then is trans fat used? Well, taste and economics. Trans fat makes food stay fresh on the shelf longer and improves food texture and flavor stability. Based on a 2021 assessment of the fatty acids in commonly consumed foods in Jamaica, our intake is very high.
If you look at confectionery, you see how high the percentages there, and it comes down in several of the other food products. Okay, this is just the percentage that have trans fat. Notice that the canned foods had none at all, or the beverages that we looked at had no trans fat. Okay? But this is just saying whether there was trans fat in the product. What we are even more interested in is which products had high levels of trans fat. In terms of the highest concentrations, more than 2% of fat as trans fat, we see the dairy products, and it goes down like that. And then when we now look at those that had the same products that had high saturated fat along with the trans fat, we see the figures here.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is looking to change this and encourage better food production and consumption practices.
Healthier alternatives can be used that do not affect the taste or the cost of food.
Knowing what is in our food is part of the way forward. It is a lifestyle change to come through education, product reformulation, regulation, food labeling, and monitoring.
The elimination of industrially produced trans fats is part of a comprehensive policy package to prevent diet-related NCDs, which comprises mandatory food labeling, ingredients lists, nutrition panels declaring trans fats, interpretive front-of-package labeling based on nutrient profiles, restrictions on food marketing aimed at children and adolescents, mandatory standards for healthy food served in schools, and limits on sugar content.
It's not just about our resolve to do the right thing to consume what is in our best interest. That in and of itself is a challenge, because we have to now nudge, encourage, motivate, and in some instances legislate, I believe, certain types of actions to encourage better quality of life from a nutrition consumption standpoint. I think it is essential to advocating in the first instance for voluntary compliance as an immediate response.
As consumers, we have the choice of using naturally occurring unhydrogenated vegetable oils such as canola, safflower, sunflower, or olive oil. We can also limit red meat and choose lean cuts. It is also recommended that we steam, boil, or bake foods instead of cooking them in fats or oils. Another approach is to choose low-fat dairy products, poultry, and fish, and purchase processed foods made with unhydrogenated oils rather than partially or hydrogenated vegetable oils or saturated fats. Use soft margarines as a substitute for butter and choose soft margarine over the harder stick forms. Limit consumption of commercially fried foods and baked goods made with shortening or partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Not only are these high in fat, but it is also likely to be trans fat. And cut back on foods high in dietary cholesterol. Let's eat healthy and live well.
Up next, a look at the integration of technology in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF.
So we have never done it before, and I think it's a beautiful concept.
The medical services branch is actually extremely important because we focus on the health of the police officers.
They don't know that we do sketches, we do ID parades, the technology sections they don't know about us. So this is like educating the public so they can better utilize the JCF.
The 4-day show-stopping exposition of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF's work, grabbed the attention of the public, who came out in their numbers. The event displayed the advanced integration of technology into the day-to-day operation of the police force. It demonstrated how the men and women of the JCF are embracing and employing these technologies. Take, for example, creating a digital facial composition of suspects.
The time you take to create an image depends on the witness memory.
And having a digital database to facilitate ID parades. These techniques are very integral in the crime-fighting process to solve cases.
Before, there were instances where persons had to go to the cells to pick out that perpetrator. And you know how intimidating that might have been to be faced with thugs. But now we have what we call a ProMat system, where we put the person, the identification parade on the computer, as you see being displayed on our computer here. So you no longer are required to see that person physically, but you actually look on a computer and pick out that person from a lineup.
Then there are the body cameras that are worn by officers to capture interactions or altercations with the public. These devices are designed to give real-time information while on location, sending first-hand signal straight to the command center. The interaction was much different at the Weapons and Tactical Training Unit. The weapons and devices on display tell another level of specialized training officers on the front line must undergo to use these tools with precision.
Starting with this one, this big one, everybody is always fascinated with this one. Everybody. So this is the Barrett 50 caliber rifle. This is not really used to shoot human beings, but it's used to disable vehicles, crafts, boats, destroy material, walls, buildings, those things.
This is one of the most visited booths, and while persons would have loved to hold one of the firearms, the less lethal devices were best suited.
The JCF teaches us what is called Plan JM, so the force must be proportionality, right? We're talking about proportionality. So it all depends on the level of force that the suspect is using. You determine, the officer, which level of force you can use to subdue that suspect.
Another level of training on display is the ability to detect the smuggling of narcotics and weapons. And no matter how creative the ideas are, in Bibles, Bulla, you name it, these officers will find it. They have a 95% success rate. The Inchai private eyes are also very skillful at detecting counterfeit documents, currencies, and apparels. Meanwhile, on the seas is another set of officers protecting our borders from transshipment and transnational crimes. The Transformations Expo also exposed the softer side of the JCF, such as the personal relationships formed at the community level through the Community Safety and Security Branch. The other areas were the medical and chaplaincy units, taking a holistic approach to the welfare of these first responders.
We do counseling, we conduct devotions, we plan seminars for our members. We also offer CISD, that is Critical Incident Stress Debriefing, whenever time a member is in shootout, just to alleviate the repercussions of stress. We debrief those members. We also do weddings, funerals, and we not only cater to our members, but the family of our police officers.
So it's not only the physical health, we focus on the mental, emotional, psychological health. Because a police officer comes under stress, extreme stressful situations daily, and we're there to assist them to be healthier individuals.
And you can see why. The SWAT team is always ready to respond to high-risk situations, and the forensic team combs through crime scenes and use high-tech equipment to analyze the data.
physical evidence does not lie. So when a crime scene is processed for physical evidence, it has to be done in such a way that the integrity of the evidence is maintained throughout that entire process. Because when the witnesses will fail in terms of what they would have perceived, or if they would have manipulated the information in some other way, the physical evidence does not.
It's a clear indication of the advances we have made in modernizing, digitizing, and transforming the force for good into a technology-driven 21st century police.
I think we can compete with almost any other country in terms of our law enforcement effort and the technology that are now being introduced within the JCF and the quality of people in terms of their competencies and their capacity. We do have that as a force.
Further evidence of this is at the technology booth. Here we see firsthand the use of facial recognition CCTV cameras clearly capturing persons as they enter the arena. The cameras are also able to detect license plates, vehicle types, and models. These high-tech devices are part of the Jamaica Eye network of over 800 cameras placed at strategic locations across the island. The use of drones is also part of the specialized operations of the police force.
As you look at the capabilities being displayed by the JCF, you will realize that it is not a PR stunt, that everything that you see displayed here represents a threefold increase in the capital budget of the JCF in the last 8 years.
Most people have interactions with us is when they're having a bad day. This is an opportunity to see the humanness behind that face of the police, to share in that humanity, to share in the journey.
The overall objective of the expo was to reinforce public confidence that the force is equipped to ensure safety and security. At the same time, the JCF is signaling to criminals that it has the resources to go after them. So what's the takeaway from such an extraordinary event that was conceptualized and executed by the men and women of the JCF?
I think the expo is very good. I mean, it seems that the JCF is very advanced technology-wise. And I mean, with all these things that I've seen thus far, I believe our crime rate should definitely be less.
Everybody is saying that the JCS is not doing this and not doing that, and we can't control crime or anything, but this is an eye-opener.
I'm glad that the public now get a better understanding of some of the things that we do, because sometimes we are underrated, but now they will understand that we are not the old antiquated police force. We are now a modern police force going through a process of transformation.
Persons are really surprised at the technology, the knowledge and the skills that we possess and the extent to which we actually process crime scenes here.
Well, as you can observe, based on the setup, you can see that there are a lot of bright minds in the JCF. We are here, bright people. We fit in anywhere in the world.
We want people to know that the JCF, we are a part of Jamaica. We are from Jamaica. We are from you, the community. All we require is your help, your understanding, your trust, partnership. That is all we ask.
So I want you to know that the force is a force for good. It's somewhere that you need to join. Encourage your children, encourage your neighbors to come and join us. There are many different avenues, many different ways you can serve the force.
The nation's economic independence is vested in successful Jamaican-owned businesses that are globally competitive. As we near the close of today's Jamaica Magazine journey, it's time to look at one aspect of government's business development support to entrepreneurs. It's geared towards enabling business success and growth.
The VTA program has taught DBJ a lot. We do recognize in times we have to pivot from our experience, and using the lessons learned, we chart a new course. Following the lessons learned, we have now developed the Gemini program. This program is designed to support the growth and development of MSMEs, enabling them to improve their operational efficiency, enhance their marketing competitiveness, access finance, and ultimately increase their chances of success. This program, as highlighted, is a strategic partnership between the DBJ and the JBDC, and especially its network of small business development centers, SBDCs, that are spread across the island. MSMEs onboarded on this program will be assessed. A work plan will be created by the JBDC to support and move each MSMEs along the business life cycle. All MSMEs accessing the Gemini program will be assessed, tiered, and placed in one of 4 business development programs that are currently executed by the JBDC. MSMEs will benefit from closer guidance, hand-holding, and training in addition to the specific needed grant support. For example, their business plan, their financial statement, or digital services. Under the Gemini program, DBJ and the JBDC will also work to expand its registry of consultants, business development services, to better provide the diverse skill set and services needed by the MSMEs. A key component of the program is the assessment of the MSMEs to ascertain their needs and address them to increase their capacity. The JBDC network consists of 14 SBDCs, which are located island-wide. MSMEs will be able to receive technical assistance no matter where in the island of Jamaica they are. The DBJ will support each MSMEs by covering up to 80% of the cost of the program that has been developed by the JBDC. I'm happy to advise that interested MSMEs can now apply to the program via www.dbjgemini.com.
Then that will be channeled through JBDC. Robust assessment will be done. Appropriate program will be developed accordingly based on where you are and facilitate your movement from point A to point B. That'll be priced, and then implementation will begin. So the eligibility criteria include the following. Is that with the companies of Jamaica, 51% owned by a local entrepreneur, valid TRN. In operation, there is a commitment letter that will be a part of the engagement to be a member or a client of the network. The initial target is 100 MSMEs for the hand-holding component of it. However, we anticipate that up to 1,000 MSMEs will participate in various aspects of the program over the period of the year. There is going to be a robust assessment of the needs, and from the robust assessment and that gap assessment, we call it an enterprise development plan that is done, specific needs would be identified, specific gaps would be identified.
We have gone through the whole program as it's designed, and we are now very confident that we are at the point where we have a worthwhile, robust program that our MSMEs will benefit from.
Let us all continue to collaborate and support our MSMEs as they play a key role in the economic growth and development of Jamaica.
And this is where we have to leave you inside Jamaica Magazine for today. Be here on this station tomorrow, and we will have much more to share. Until then, there are lots to watch over on our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Remember, live good and take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.